Welcome, friends. It is Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox show, episode 342 for April 18th, 2018. Coming up on this week's show, there's a lot to talk about. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, there has been a somewhat of a startling revelation there that we've had to bring in the heavy hitters to discuss. That'd be Bobby Amos here to talk some Call of Duty. Plus, Splinter Cell Blacklist, more about Michael Ironside. This is in the news. There's a really interesting new piece to this puzzle for which I will apologize to Ubisoft on the back of. Also this week, State of Decay 2, if you're interested in playing that on PC, we have some news that may be of interest for you there. New Sea of Thieves content on the way. Shenmue 3, not the only Shenmue game, on its way pretty soon. New, if you feel like NBA Jam, you may have checked out NBA Playgrounds. We got news on that front. And a major publisher skipping E3 for what they give a really hilarious reason for. We'll talk about all of that and more. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. To my right, the aforementioned Bobby Amos Jr. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for
It's
having
been
me,
it's been way too long since you've been on. It's great to have you back.
Bring me on for some other stuff outside of Call of Duty.
I know, I know. Yes.
Get ready for the All Madden show.
I know that is on me. I need to make sure to do that. Brandon Tyrell.
Hello.
Hi. You made quite the confession on last week's show.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do?
He's
I might have copped to some minor larceny, maybe, but Twitter,
from Blockbuster,
from
before
Blockbuster.
they went out of
that's
business.
Twitter has been. It's been an interesting week on Twitter.com for me.
I used to get Netflix DVDs sent to home, well, like everyone, and then when I stopped and went to streaming, I never turned back Water for Elephants. So I still have Water for Elephants on Blu-ray.
No joke. I had a DVD of City of God for a year and a half before I finally returned.
That's some City of God stuff right there.
Yeah.
That sultry, familiar voice you hear is none other than Marty Sleva.
He's back.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
We're doing a reunion tour right now because we've had Miranda's been out for some various assignments, and then poor Alana is under the weather this
dying.
week. So
Yeah. Not really.
Actually,
Not really.
Oh yeah, we're all dying.
The Sylvia Plath sort of.
Do you have something planned special for next week? 343?
everybody keeps asking me, and I wish the answer was yes, but I don't.
Yeah.
You know, no, we'll come up. I'm going to come up with some sort of fun segment we can do to commemorate 343 and the world of Halo.
Worst case, you just bring the Halo 3 cat helmet and put it on the.
I mean, yeah,
put it
we
on the
could do
desk.
that.
That
That
seems like a really lazy way to
that
celebrate
doesn't
it.
help our audio listeners very much.
We have no fewer than 12 of those Master Chief Collector Edition.
We made a whole corner out of it, like a whole
Just grab a bunch of
UNSC
those.
display.
I'm going to put one on Peppers.
Oh, that would be adorable.
Be an upgrade. Fran just stepped on him out there.
I could not believe that. Fran stepped on Peppers, and Peppers made.
That was the squeal. That
Yeah.
That
It was the. What's,
Also, it was 10 seconds after Fran was like, "Where's Peppers?" And then we hear the squeal. We're like, "You found him, Fran."
It literally was, "Where's Peppers?" And it was just like horrified.
Peppers is Max's dog. We never said it was dog.
Yeah.
Peppers
Right.
is Max's
Yeah,
dog.
it's not a person. It's fine.
Little Pomeranian is awesome.
They're quick. They recover.
All right. Well, let's get it started here. Big news of the week, I think, is Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and you're wondering, what do you mean? What's big news about that? Well, it might not have a single-player campaign. We have to caveat this. This is not confirmed, but this is Chris Plant at Polygon, multiple sources. So we're going to go ahead and operate on the assumption that this is good, that this is indeed true, because it almost certainly is. So Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will not include a single-player campaign whatsoever. Polygon writes, the sources, who asked for anonymity, said that as Black Ops 4's release date approached, it became evident that development on the single-player campaign wouldn't be completed.
And had 3 years.
So
Yeah. Literally 3 years since Black Ops 3.
Oops.
They just said, forget it. We're just going to skip it and see what happens. There is really a lot to chew on here. So, Bobby, are you a campaign guy? Because I know you play multiplayer, you play the heck out of it. Do you play the campaigns?
Haven't played the last 3 or 4 of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. That was my favorite one that they did. And then I played Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Black Ops 1 and maybe No, that's it. Just
Yeah.
that's it.
That's
I
funny.
had to think about that.
You and I are in the exact same boat. Those are the 3 that I've played as well.
So with this news coming out for me as a multiplayer guy, usually when I get the game, I go straight to multiplayer anyway. And people are like, hey, you got to play the campaign. And then it'll end up being spoiled for me.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I know what happened. I don't need to
Yeah.
play it now.
Yeah.
So for me, I hear that and it's just like, okay, that means multiplayer and zombies better be the truth.
And that's what they said they're going to be focusing on instead, obviously, is just channeling everything into, whether that means we get more maps out of it or more modes, we don't know. But it's... So you're not bothered. Are you bothered by paying the same price for a game that one of a campaign, even though you don't traditionally play that campaign anyway?
It hasn't hit me yet. I haven't gotten that far ahead. Like I keep just going, please let this be, because Treyarch's the one that's in charge of this one. And I'm kind of on that fence where, actually I'm not on the fence. I'm over the fence with one leg still there because I'm ready to be done with Call of Duty because this last one, I played it for a little bit and I'm just like, dude, okay, I'm not good enough at it. The multiplayer's not that fun to me. And then the one before that, I don't even know which one that one was, and I didn't play that one at all.
Infinite Warfare.
So I'm just at that point where it's like, okay, Treyarch, bring me back, or else like I'm gonna have to join my friends and start playing more Rainbow Six and PUBG and all these other games with the battle royale situation. So
As a multiplayer Call of Duty guy, Bobby, do you have a favorite developer of the 3 Call of Duty developers? Do you prefer
Treyarch.
You're a Treyarch guy. All right. So the Black Ops
I'm saying
series,
this is the last chance just for Call of Duty in general. Treyarch's the one that's doing it. They the one, like I say, if there's no campaign, that means they're focusing on multiplayer and the zombies and whatever extra modes that they have in mind. And it's like, yo, I mean, I'm still looking at it like, so why don't you have a campaign? Because a lot of casual people, especially in the office, I hear a lot of people go, yeah, I checked out Call of Duty's campaign. It was fun. Like, a lot of people aren't going to multiplayer because, one, it's toxic. And two, like, some people just don't want to go through that, So it's like, why take that away from some of the people that want to just play the campaign? Like, they enjoy that, and that's it for them. So you take that away, you're taking away a good maybe, 50% of the people who play Call of Duty?
I mean, I'm curious because that's what, like, Ryan and I are campaign guys.
Right.
Like, and I can't, you said that you played multiplayer in World War II and you were like, I'm not good enough at this. Like, I feel like that times 1,000. Like, I jumped into a couple World War II matches and I'm like, oh my God, I can't do any of this.
War is hell.
Yeah, I'm curious what this means though for what the multiplayer looks like. Like, another report came out this morning that Raven is developing the Battle Royale mode for this.
Yeah.
So
well, there was a report some months back that Call of Duty was looking at Battle Royale.
So Jason Schreier at Kotaku reported that might be the third pillar of this game. So instead of single player, we're going to get Battle Royale, which, again, probably in 2018 makes more sense than a single player campaign.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It hurts me to hear that, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So this, to me, I'm super disappointed because I've always played since the first Call of Duty. I've always played for the campaigns. I used to play multiplayer, but something just for me personally,
not good enough at it.
I've always clicked with Halo. Like, I've always been able to enjoy Halo. I get Halo. and I'm decent at it. I've gotten less good over the years because I'm just too old now. What is it? Alfredo Diaz tells. It's like after you hit 25, you physically you can't.
Your reaction time.
You're just not as good.
Your reaction time starts slowing.
And that age 25 was Halo 2 for me. But I'm wondering, so I'm disappointed that there's no. I now have virtually no interest in Black Ops 4. But are you, Bobby, more interested at the idea that the resources will go into making multiplayer better?
Yes.
So,
and that's what I'm saying. There's no excuse for multiplayer to be trash or not as good as it should be. And honestly, Treyarch has a proven track record to me with multiplayer. A lot of people say Black Ops 3 wasn't all that great, and I thought it was way better than Advanced Warfare, especially with the suits and the backpack jetting around and taking borrowing some of the Destiny special abilities and all of that.
That was the one with the operators, right?
Yeah.
You had the guy with the seismic spikes and all that. Okay.
So for me, I'm just looking at it okay, focus on those things that you've made your name at, the multiplayer and the zombies. Because, a lot of people still really only get excited for Call of Duty when they hear zombies, especially when Treyarch's in charge of that game. They're like, oh, okay, well, first thing I hear is zombies, then multiplayer, and then I guess you could say campaign. So I guess for them, they're going, well, we're going to bank off people just being excited for the zombies multiplayer and if there is a Battle Royale game mode.
Yeah. What's interesting is Zombies was created by Treyarch.
Right, World at War.
but it became so popular, and it would alternate. Like it would only be in the Treyarch Call of Duties. Now it's become so popular, it's in every Call. It's in all of them. You can't not have it.
It's interesting because COD 4 or Modern Warfare 1, whatever the naming convention you want to go with was, before Zombies, their kind of third pillar of the game was those co-op missions, right? Where you would replay sections of like the single player campaign or like modified versions of it with a buddy. And it sounds, I don't remember where I read this report, but they said that they were going to try to, replace the campaign or at least make up for the campaign with some sort of co-op.
Like the Spec Op type stuff that they
Yeah, exactly.
I think the wording here was that it wouldn't feature a traditional single player campaign.
Right.
And so that leads me to believe that, I mean, A, yes, I think the Battle Royale thing's real. And B, I think they're going to double down in sort of these social spaces, like how World War II had the beach, where you could go there and show off your gear, and you're there with a bunch of people not headquarters. Yeah. So I could totally, again, see in a post-Destiny world them leaning really heavily into that and really heavily into the Battle Royale.
Shared space stuff.
Yeah, because the interesting thing is, like, you were talking back in the days of Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare, like, there wasn't that much competition in terms of, like, people's sort of online time. Like, that's why everyone gravitated to those games. Whereas now, you do have Fortnite and you do have PUBG, and you mentioned Rainbow Six, which just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
You know, we're getting another huge Destiny 2 update. Halo 6 is probably going to be at E3.
You got Battlefield. You got Titanfall 2 to some extent.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So I'm going to pose a question to all you guys that was asked, that came up repeatedly in Twitter replies when I tweeted this out the other day. Why even call it Black Ops?
Right.
Like, if there's no campaign to sort of ground it in a specific universe, what makes it Black Ops if it's multiplayer only at this point? And especially correct me if I'm wrong, when they first announced and teased Black Ops 4, didn't they say it was going to be more like a more sort of grounded game?
Yeah. Well, it was like near future, and then they went back and forth between different time periods. So
yeah, why even call this Black Ops 4 at this point?
Branding, number one.
And Black Ops.
I'm not asking that in a
like thematically
in a derisive way.
I'm
just like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, what will make this a Black Ops game?
I think it's the team. I think it's the talent behind it. I think it's the fact that Bobby said Treyarch's the one he respects the most and the one that he has thinks can deliver the best multiplayer. So I think it's that. It's the branding of who's actually making this more so than if the story has whatever Gary Oldman's character
like
was.
the great grandson now of the main characters. But I mean, everyone loves, or at least for a long time has loved Treyarch's map design. Like the 3 lanes are very kind of iconic of them. So yeah, like Marty said, the talent behind it. I imagine they're going to pull maybe some elements of the things they started in Black Ops 3 into 4, which I'm a little bummed about. I still think Black Ops 1 is like the best COD ever made, in my opinion.
I think it's the best campaign.
Bobby doesn't agree.
He couldn't even hide his just disgust with you.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The COD
don't be sorry.
Modern Warfare, to me, that had the best campaign and the best wow factors and just
okay.
That was my
from a
one.
multiplayer perspective, I guess, because I
said campaign. Are you not listening? Campaign.
No, I hear you. I'm saying Black Ops 1 is the best multiplayer COD in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean,
you're wrong, but okay.
Okay. Well, it's an opinion.
Okay.
So
Opinions can be wrong.
I guess to Bobby they can.
I'm sorry. That's your thing. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I will say campaign-wise, I give the edge for campaigns to Black Ops 1 over Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 1.
Interesting.
That whole the Mason thing with the numbers and what they tied in on the ending.
Yeah.
I loved that camp. And there were a lot of great missions like the SR-71 Blackbird and all sorts of cool stuff.
Are we forgetting Gillied Up from COD 4?
No, not forgetting.
It was good.
That's why I said it's like neck and neck for me. I give the edge to Black Ops 1 on the campaign side. But I thought Black Ops 2's campaign really fell apart for me. It just got real nonsensical, real silly.
Yeah, and it introduced those like branching paths that really didn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like a character like wouldn't have an ear or something in a scene, or someone like lost an eye. You're like, well, nothing changed in the scene except you have one eye.
Was that the same one where they're like you can make decisions during the campaign and it affects things down the road?
And it had those like top down, like almost those strategic missions.
Yeah. It was like almost a strategy element on top of the campaign.
I reviewed that game for one up.
It was like choose your own adventure.
I don't know how light the one up bench was that I ended up reviewing.
Jose was like doing literally anything else.
I think Jose might have been like reviewing like Skyward Sword or something. Yeah.
10 out
So,
of 10.
I mean, Activision's not dumb though. They're not just going, oh, you couldn't finish the campaign. Fine, we'll allow that. Like this is their bread and butter franchise. They have metrics for how many people play the campaign, how many people finish the campaign, and this decision to have single player not be part of Black Ops 4 would seemingly suggest that their metrics told them that they'll get through this without there's not enough people playing and finishing the campaign. There's not enough old idiots like me out here who are just in it for the campaign to make them want to question this situation, which is just it's just the changing tides, man. Like Call of Duty started as a cinematic single player experience, but it has evolved into the one of the premier multiplayer experiences in the world.
Yeah, and when you look at the whole single player games are dying thing I think is really dumb. Of course, whenever anyone says that. But when you do look at the games that are critically and commercially really successful in that space, you see stuff like Zelda and Horizon and God of War. You don't see a lot of shooters, single player primary shooters that are selling well. Like Prey didn't sell well, Wolfenstein didn't sell well.
Halo was in that group up until 5, really.
But again, Halo comes with also some of the best multiplayer that you can find.
Ever.
Absolutely.
And so maybe this is just a sign of the times of them being like, well, all right, let's lose the, I don't know what percent are in our camp, 5, 20, 30, but you have to imagine that if they double down on multiplayer and do really deliver like an amazing multiplayer suite that does have a battle royale mode that can even, take away a little bit of Fortnite and PUBG's lunch, then ultimately it's probably better off for the game.
Yeah, and you have to imagine like the single player stuff is maybe the most expensive part of the project, considering cinematics and mocap,
voice
and all
actors,
that.
and
voice actors,
because they always cast
likenesses.
Some, like, AAA dude. Yeah.
It's like I don't think Kevin Spacey goes for that much anymore, but I imagine he
a couple years ago, probably.
It's pretty expensive to get in a Hollywood A-lister in there to anchor your story.
Especially, it's expensive when you consider that most players, including me, by the way, are playing that once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if they are going to go now with a battle royale arm of the game, they can monetize that. They can, you've got players hooked into that. You can sell more maps. You can, you can do all kinds of other things that a
Gritty
campaign
cosmetics
is just like it's a one and done kind of situation.
The thing that worries me though is that this was not from the sounds of it. This was not a planned. We are going to focus our resources from the beginning into these other pillars of the game. This was oh crap, it's not ready yet.
Yeah.
You know what? Scrap it. We'll just do this other stuff. So like how much of those resources, I mean, hearing you guys talk about it, I was like, well, at least those resources can go into multiplayer. Like at this point in development, is that even possible? Like
it depends on when this was scrapped.
Yeah.
The report came out now. This could have been the plan a year
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is interesting because we did see Call of Duty move to an early October slot as opposed to its early November slot. Whether that's somehow due to this, whether it's due to where Red Dead is, which is more likely in my mind.
Getting out before Red Dead.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. But yeah, I'm really curious how Activision officially messages this.
Good point. I mean, we're not privy to most of the behind the scenes goings on with Call of Duty or really any other franchise, but there is one other instance where there was a major behind the scenes shift during the development of Call of Duty, and that was when the whole Infinity Ward, the Vince Zampella, Jason West situation happened, and they ended up having to rope in. Remember, Sledgehammer had that third-person action-adventure Call of Duty game that got put to the side.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Michael Condrey was in here years ago telling that story.
Was that the one in Antiquity?
I think so.
Yeah, there was like a canned game where you were like a Roman legionnaire or something like
that. No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
This was a different thing. I just remember what you were talking about. But yeah, they had a third-person game that got put aside, and then they ended up basically partnering up with Raven and what was left of Infinity Ward to finish that game and that being Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember that campaign at all.
I don't think I played it.
Me either.
I definitely played it. I do not remember.
Yeah, I finished it.
Let me rephrase that. I know for a fact I didn't play it. I don't remember the multiplayer in that, but I do know I bought it.
I remember thinking at the time, when I finished it, like, this was pretty good considering I know what insanity went down
Yeah.
in the middle of this, 9-figure production. So we'll see what happens with this. I mean, do you want to see? Are you curious about Call of Duty in a battle royale setting, Bobby? That's something new you haven't seen before.
So historically for me, Call of Duty has been like that first person shooter, not third person. Now they kind of dabbled in that a little bit with the whole what you said headquarters for World War II. And that was strange for me, just jumping around, playing with the little football that you can pick up and do things. Now
It's like two of your favorite things in one.
I'm just trying to figure out how would they do this battle royale, like, because I haven't played Fortnite, but I've played PUBG, and that's kind of like, parachuting. It sounds like the same thing, except Fortnite, you're building stuff, and it has like because I don't want to insult nobody because I haven't played it, but it's like you're building like the little buildings and doing all that other crazy
Steven's
stuff.
crying out there right now.
So you have that, and then PUBG kind of for me had the more realistic vibe, because I remember the first time I played it here, I was shaking because it was so intense. I was like, yo, this is crazy. With Call of Duty, how are they going to do that? Are they going to have perks and your score streaks help you get killed?
That's a really good question.
Like, that's weird to me. I'm like, so are we going to have score streaks? Because that's always been Call of Duty's thing, especially when going against Battlefield. It was like, Battlefield, we don't have score streaks. You have that in Call of Duty.
Yeah, and Call of Duty is so much faster of a game
and
than any
arcadier.
battle royale game.
Yeah.
And it's more arcadey. Like the great thing about a battle royale game is like everyone starts on the even footing, and it's your actions that you do once you land that let you accrue power throughout the match and all that. So like, do they just strip out perks and kill streaks and secondary abilities and just drop everyone in a first person mode in like a map that's 10 times bigger than whatever their largest multiplayer map would be?
Like a bare bones type of mode.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it sounds really reminiscent of old like arena shooters at that point.
I mean, it just sounds like because again, the other rumor is that this year's Battlefield 5
is also
going to do battle royale, which would make more sense in Battlefield.
It does
because those maps are giant. You're already jumping out of planes. There's already vehicles.
You can already
64.
You can already prone. You can already
So that is a lot easier to imagine what that would look like than a Call of Duty one. Because I don't know. Like,
I mean,
what would battle royale
we
be?
hold what 18 at the most in ground war or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it go any bigger than that.
Yeah.
Even with the headquarters, that wasn't working in the beginning, where it couldn't get all the people together, and then once it finally got everybody, I was like, man, it's so crowded in here. I can't really move around.
Excuse me. Yeah. Excuse me.
I mean, it would be a big leap technologically of just, like I said, you getting that many people in a map, and who knows what sort of, under the hood work they'd have to do with the engine. And
Yeah.
let alone the
Interesting thing
gameplay.
is because right now when we were mentioning stuff like Radical Heights and Fortnite and PUBG, like none of those are good looking games.
Right.
Those are all like
that's
those
true.
are all like fun games, but they're not Call of Duty.
That's a really good point.
So it's interesting to see taking that giant scope of a battle royale mode and then putting the AAA polish of a Call of Duty on it.
Yeah. I mean, counterpoint, Battlefield 1 was, I think, max 64. Was that what it was?
I think so.
Yeah. And that game is maybe one of the best looking shooters of all time.
Yeah.
I could see it. Man, how would that even work? I mean, someone in the comments will bring up MAG from the PS3 era.
64, right?
They're not allowed to bring
It was like
128, I think.
It was 64 versus 64. Yeah. I never played it myself because I didn't have a PS3 back then. But God, was that PS3?
It was.
Yeah, it's PS3. Massive action.
Quite an experiment.
Yeah. Wow, that was interesting. I don't know how it ran or how it worked.
It never had 128 players.
Yeah.
47 people bought that game.
Yeah, I was gonna make that joke, but I didn't want to offend anyone.
I don't think you're going to offend anyone by making fun of MAG. I think
one,
we're safe.
That one dude that bought MAG was like, "This won't stand."
All right. So
We'll see how it works out.
Kudos to Polygon on that report. And Marty makes a great point of how the heck are they going to message this? They've got the gameplay reveal is on May 17th. I will be there. So
That's right.
We'll see. And in fact, I might have to bring you because
I was about to ask not go. I was about to ask.
You want to go?
I want to go. Yeah.
Well, I seriously need somebody who's an expert.
Who could he needs a COD
All right,
translator.
you're coming.
You saw that's how the sausage is made
That's
here.
how we did it. May 17th.
You doing anything? No. Yeah. Okay. You're in.
You're going.
Wait, so they've already announced the event?
Oh yeah, remember back when they announced the release date? It had the
they said
release date October, whatever. Gameplay reveal.
Is
May
it
17th.
being aligned with the playoffs as usual?
Probably.
They usually show
I would
stuff in the
imagine.
NBA
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah. They usually have a trailer. Are they still going to do COD XP in September? Then you think
Probably.
for the multiplayer suite?
I would think so.
I would imagine so too.
Yeah, would make a lot of sense. No reason not to. All right, moving on here from a game that won't have a single player to a game that will hopefully exist again. And that it doesn't exist at all. There's no single player or multiplayer, but Splinter Cell. We've been talking about Splinter Cell a lot lately. There was that Amazon some territory had the Canada, I think that was, had the 2018 listing. I got a little hot and bothered at the possibility of that. And then, last week now we have the Ghost Recon Wildlands has the Splinter Cell mission. Mm-hmm. Michael Ironside's back voicing Sam. Makes me happy. Well, the UB blog, they did a video interview with Michael Ironside, just talking about his return in this cameo role in Ghost Recon. And Michael Ironside said something really interesting that just changes
the entire
my whole thought on how Blacklist went with as far as his absence. So at the time, you remember I've been railing on this for a long time, including recently on this podcast, that I thought it was real dumb that Ubisoft said, "Hey, Michael Ironside's not in Splinter Cell Blacklist because he's getting a little up there in age, and he's not able to do the whole performance capture, the voice and all the physical activity for the performance capture that we need." I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because it's a video game and you can just dub him in. That's how video games can work. Even I know that, someone who doesn't make video games. Turns out that Ironside revealed that he was actually battling very serious cancer at the time and was not physically able to be part of Splinter Cell Blacklist. And man, so I want to say, even though I didn't know any better, none of us knew. It's a private thing for Michael Ironside, but I apologize to Ubisoft for being so hard on him. I mean, it's it was coming from a place as a fan, but it's a shame to learn that Ironside was ill. But I mean, thankfully he's doing great now, and as he says, he said it a number of times in the interviews, pretty much every interview he's given. There've been a few. He says, "I never left. I'm back. I am Sam Fisher."
Sam Fisher, yeah.
And yeah, so it was interesting of him to discuss that.
To be candid about
these years later. Yeah, I mean, it's there's nothing. He doesn't owe anyone that explanation, and kudos to Ubisoft for just falling on the sword and just taking the public heat from talking head idiots like me
to protect his privacy. Yeah, you're just passionate.
I am. What can I say? I mean,
And glad to see he's doing better for sure. Like on that live stream, he looked spry. He looked,
looks real good.
Looked healthy.
Looks spry.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Like he could still sneak up behind you in the middle of the night and choke you out.
Yeah, come down the side of a building. Yeah.
I feel like if we hopefully do get this upcoming Splinter Cell game, I feel like Sam's gonna be in it, but we're not gonna be playing as Sam.
You think that's still gonna be the case?
Yeah, I think it would be like old man Sam, and he's sort of the voice in your ear.
Passing the torch.
You are playing as the equivalent of Shia LaBeouf and Indiana Jones.
Oh,
not like that. I just meant narratively.
Of all the mentor,
you are just playing as Sam Fisher's bastard child they just realized he had. I'm sorry.
It's just right there. It's just hanging there.
He has a daughter because she could be the new.
That's true.
Fourth echelon.
Yeah, I liked how in the Ghost Recon thing they sort of had that nod to Snake.
Yeah, that was cool. We talked about that.
That was really cool. Yeah.
But so I actually, on a more serious note, I disagree with you, Marty, because here's how I think it would go. Because he's I think Brandon and I had looked it up. I think Ironside is 70 or right about 70.
Thereabouts. Yeah.
So it's not to say he couldn't keep performing and playing Sam for a while, but whenever I think, Marty, it'll go this way. Like for Splinter Cell to come back, it's been gone for a while. It was sales-wise, critically certainly, but sales-wise, it was never in the Ghost Recon Rainbow Six League. That's just reality, as much as that pains me. So if Splinter Cell is going to come back with its own game, I think it has to be him for a game. Then if the series is revitalized and they decide to continue moving forward with more Splinter Cells, then I think you can do the transition a la Gears of War 4, have Sam take the Lambert role of giving you the stuff in your ear and transition it out that way. I think he's got to come back for one full game as Sam first.
Yeah.
And
that'd be interesting.
I'm going to will that into existence.
Yeah. I mean, if it's just VO, I could see them doing some, narrative device where they track him down in a like bar in Havana and like tell me about the time that he's like, oh, you want to hear about the time that I did this,
Yeah.
you know? And then that's the game, right? But how many more of those can you? I mean, a game takes 4 to 5 years to make. How many more of those can he realistically voice?
Right.
So.
You ever play any Spies versus Mercs, Bobby?
I did. I played
so
it with
good, right?
Alfredo. I wasn't that great at it though. It was pretty cool with all the gadgets you can use and do all the stuff. But I just wanted to run up and knife people, and I could never get close enough. I could never get close enough to do
hard.
it. But yeah, that was pretty. Which Splinter Cell was that one?
Spies versus Mercs has been in a few of them.
Okay.
It was in Blacklist, the most
Blacklist.
recent
Okay,
one.
that was the most recent one I played.
I
then.
didn't care for that implementation of it as much. There was something about it that just didn't quite feel right.
So
to
I
me.
wasn't so bad at it. It was just that game.
It was the game's fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
100%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
But it started in Pandora Tomorrow, the second one, and I think was really kind of perfected in chaos, along with everything else in the world of Splinter Cell, perfected in Chaos Theory. They did. You could do 3-on-3 in Chaos Theory. It was 2 on. The 2-on-2 though was probably the most pure version of it from the original one in Pandora Tomorrow. But
68.
68. Okay, so yeah, he's
What?
That's Michael Ironside's
Michael
age.
Ironside's
Oh,
age.
I thought you said 6v8. And
Yeah.
I was like, what?
It's my new.
6 versus
It's my
8?
new street brand.
What the hell's wrong with you?
If you see any stickers.
All right, so yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Michael Ironside, for coming back to this role.
Getting better.
Yeah, and most importantly,
Cheers.
being better. Brandon, State of Decay 2.
Hey, what up?
We played a lot of that game.
Yeah, we did. We sure did.
We just played some more of it,
Yes.
which the embargo's a little out.
a little bit later, but
We'll
yeah.
have some more coverage there.
We played a whole bunch for IGN first. We played some yesterday. Big news, though, is that so the way that Undead Labs has been working with this is anytime they did a lot for our IGN first stuff. Anytime we publish content about it, they'll take it on their live stream and sort of deep dive into it, answer questions from fans. They have a really, really great, really rabid community for this game. It started with the first one, has since carried over. So they did that with the PAX East demo build. And no kidding, 8 minutes into the stream, when they go to launch into it, it throws an error that says unable to connect with Steam. Please, yada, 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 check your settings, et cetera, et cetera. So, that naturally leads us to believe that Steam development is in the works, which shouldn't really be a surprise to anyone considering the FAQ has said that check back later, we'll have more announcements in the future.
They've left the door open.
with the question to Steam support.
But it's been fair to wonder, because it is a first-party Microsoft game, would they only put it on the Microsoft store?
Right. So that has sort of been a Microsoft's MO since, starting this Play Anywhere thing, where you buy a game, you play it on your Xbox or your PC. Catch is, to play it on your PC, you have to buy it through the Microsoft store.
But then you can play it anywhere.
Right.
And you pay once for both
For
versions.
essentially two versions of the same game, right? With, transferable saves and all that. So there's like a lot of, there are a few benefits to playing in ecosystem. Having said that, the first State of Decay was on Steam, and it, rightfully so, accrued quite a following on that distribution service. So people are naturally curious why, if it is coming to Steam, is Microsoft not saying that's going to be a supported platform? And I think the easy answer there is Microsoft doesn't want to acknowledge it's going to Steam until after its launch, because it wants to, those diehard PC players to buy it through the store.
But here, and so I don't disagree with anything you just said, but
Oh.
ever since this, you wrote up this story yesterday or the day before.
Right.
I can't wrap my head. Maybe you guys can help me out on this, because I'm just having trouble reconciling. Doesn't that strategy, isn't it just going to piss off your PC fans?
100%.
Like,
yes.
it's coming eventually. You get their pre-order money for Windows Store.
Yeah.
And yes, there are benefits to that. Great. It's Play Anywhere, and you get the copy on Xbox. But it's like, if somebody wants it on Steam and you're just not going to say anything about Steam till, I don't know, the day before it's out, or maybe it's going to be a little after release. I don't know. But isn't that just, you're just toying with your PC fans at that point, aren't you? Like, help me understand this.
And that's my biggest problem with this. It's not that, we're entitled to get this game on Steam. I actually had this exact conversation with someone on Twitter yesterday. It's not, we are entitled to get this game on Steam. They can put it on whatever platforms they want to. 98% of PC players, I just pulled that quote out of the thin air. the majority of PC players.
2018, that's a fact now.
Yeah. The majority of PC players purchase their games and use Steam as their ecosystem. So, yeah, sure, some of them are going to be bummed that, State of Decay 2 isn't coming to Steam. We're not entitled to that. But what really bothers me is that, like, all evidence points to the contrary, right? Like, this is not a very well-kept secret, if it's even trying to be a secret at all. So whether Microsoft is enforcing that or not, I don't know. But, if we had not had any idea it was coming to Steam, this wouldn't even be an issue, right? Like, no one would care. Except for people who wanted it on Steam. But the fact that or strongly suspect that it's coming to Steam, and Microsoft just says, just don't look behind the curtain. Just ignore this. You don't see anything. That's, I think, what's causing, sort of a dissonance with their messaging and what we're actually seeing. And that is going to piss people off.
I mean, for me, it would, again, I don't have the whole picture on this, but from what's there, it would seem to me that the way I would handle it would just be to come right out up front and say, it's going to be on Steam and Windows Store, but hey, and so we're giving you the choice.
Sure.
If you do want to purchase it on Windows Store, here you have benefits to doing that. You're going to get that Play Anywhere copy, the achievements going both way, Play Anywhere. So why not just, there are advantages to their ecosystem. Let's put those out there, but don't hide the Steam version from people that want it there.
All they would have to say is, hey, it's coming out first on Xbox and Microsoft Windows on the Microsoft Store. And if you want to play it on Steam, it'll release on Steam 8 months after it launches or 6 months after it launches, Just be transparent about it. I get why they don't do that because they don't want to lose the upfront sales for people who will wait 6 months. But again, I think this is not the best way to go about it. But again.
Completely agree.
In any case, it's probably coming to Steam, so it's just a matter of when.
It's probably coming to Steam.
You decide you want to have it there rather than have the Play Anywhere copy.
Yeah, and then they pulled the video archive off the Undead Labs Twitch account.
Yes, because nothing on the internet is permanent.
I'm just like, what?
No one will possibly cut that.
I grabbed a screenshot of the error message before they pulled the video, so like we had that news, and a couple other outlets did the same. But I mean, pulling the video without addressing it, just like we don't have anything further to share, is I think the comment that they gave us.
That's pretty dumb.
All right.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Elsewhere on the Xbox first-party front, new Sea of Thieves content is on the way. They laid out a bit of their roadmap. Bobby, have you had a chance? This feels like a game that you and your son would have an awesome time playing.
Did you review it? Or
I did review
someone
it.
else?
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay, you talked about it, and I watched one of the other unlocked things, talking about the Kraken and all these different things, and playing with people, I guess, that will make it that much better than playing by yourself. And that was one of the things why. One, I just didn't want to play the game, but two, I was just like, if I did, I don't want to play with strangers. I feel like I want to play this with some people who want to go out and just be on the open seas and doing a bunch of nothing, I guess. But
it is like a much slower experience, so you kind of really got to enjoy the people you're with.
I feel like because
it feels like a road trip at times. Where it's if you're in the car with people you hate, you're like, this is going to take forever.
I feel like during I think it might have been the beta, my daughter was watching me play a little bit, a 6-year-old daughter, and I didn't have any friends online at that moment, so I just went out in the one-person sloop, and she had an awesome time just sort of watching it. It's such a beautiful game to look at. That's why I feel like you and your son could have an awesome time with it. There's a 2-person boat that you can get.
I think he just want to play Madden.
That's
all he into right in sports. He's at that part where that's all he want to do is watch basketball and football and play Madden. So, but if it's fun, I'm gonna just see if I can get a copy from you guys, and then I'll go play.
We can make that happen for sure.
Yeah, it's casual fun.
Okay,
it is good. It's just like a good sort of like way to. I reconnected with a friend that lives out of state that I haven't talked to regularly for a long time through Sea of Thieves, and it's really nice for that. It's nice just to hang out. Cool. Hey, what are you doing? Like, what's new in life? And oh, by the way, turn east. Okay, so what were you saying?
I know Pear has played with his kids too,
and his stories are terrifying.
So new content coming.
Yeah, man.
Brandon, we've everybody's been certainly waiting to hear about this. What is immediately through the spyglass on the horizon?
Yeah. So right off the bat, I like that. Nice. Jeez. No, I'm just trying to think of nautical puns to face off against you. Right off the bat, I think the story was last week, but there is no new content coming in April. It's just fixes addressing major concerns, which, absolute kudos to Rare. They've really, taken to heart some of what the community has said with regard to, ship spawning systems and some of the other big issues that they fixed. First new batch of content comes in May. It's called The Hungering Deep. They've just said there's going to be a new AI threat,
That sounds like a megalodon or something, just from the title alone.
So I think it's either that or what I'm thinking is it might be mermaids as well, because they already have the models in the game for the mermaids. They've released photos of mermaids, not photos, like this is the Loch Ness Monster. They've released screenshots or doctored images.
Candid photos on the beach.
Yeah, whether they're screenshots or bull shots, I don't really know. But there are mermaids like hanging out near a hull of a sunken ship with treasure just everywhere. So there might be some sort of element where they add like combat to those sunken ships that you have to go down and attack. I don't really know. I thought it was Megalodon 2, but that comes out in May. After that drops, it'll be a timed event, after which it'll go permanent at a later date. But after The Hungering Deep comes out, there will be weekly events, and then they'll drop their next big content patch expansion in summer, the details of which kind of escape me. But
Forsaken Shores.
Yeah, it'll be a new ship type alongside, if you watch the video of them talking about this new content, they had mentioned things like cursed cannonballs and new cosmetics and items.
What does cursed cannonballs mean?
I don't know. But one of their other content drops was called the Cursed Sales. So there's a much better breakdown on IGN than we can give right now because we actually wrote it all out. But you should go check that out. Bottom line is new content is coming, and it looks like it'll be coming within, a steady stream of it will be coming within the next 3 to 4 months. So hang in there. If you're really enjoying it, keep grinding out or don't stop.
I can't wait
like I
to
did.
see what Rare adds to this game.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you may have to be doing a re-review in a year from now.
I would imagine probably a year from now. Yeah.
And I hope so. I hope that is necessary because that will mean that they've added so much more stuff to it.
I honestly hope they do. And like I said in the review, I hope people don't just give up on this game and walk away forever, because I think Rare is A, motivated, and B, capable of really, really turning this into something special. Not that it isn't special, but something that, more people will feel is accessible for what they want.
All right. Next up, Marty, were you a Shenmue guy?
I was.
Ooh.
Get that Ryo.
Yeah. That was one of the 10 games I owned for my Dreamcast before Sega stopped making games for the Dreamcast after 2 years.
Shenmue 1 and 2 on their way to Xbox One as a $30 bundle.
Right.
By the sound of it, it looks like it might be more of just kind of a pretty straightforward re-release rather than a whole dialed up, prettied up remaster.
It's definitely don't think it's going to be something like Shadow of the Colossus where it looks all of a sudden different. It just sounds like it's going to run a little bit better and probably run natively, and then
widescreen.
In widescreen, yeah. It's gonna have 1 and 2. They said it's gonna have both language options, and this makes sense because the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter from 2015, whenever it was,
a while ago,
was super successful, and so this is a way for people to play these two games that were previously locked to Dreamcast and Xbox.
Two came out on
Xbox, the original Xbox. Yeah. The thing about these games is everyone's memories or thoughts about Shenmue are a lot better than Shenmue.
Yeah.
These games are not going to play well. You're going to play these games and they're going to be bad. It was like, for the time, it was a life simulator in the same way that
game.
Yeah. And it introduced like exploring a small open world and talking to NPCs, and QTEs were literally a thing on the box. Like, hey, you had QuickTime events. But now you're going to play this game and be like, I don't like those, and why do I want to talk to these sailors? It introduced things that games like...
I want to talk to these sailors.
Games that like Yakuza 6 and Persona 5 have just done way better.
Well, what I do find interesting about this is a Sega joint, obviously.
Yeah.
Shenmue 3 isn't. Deep Silver is publishing Shenmue 3.
But still Yu Suzuki, so...
Right.
Yeah.
But what's cool is that they're kind of helping each other out, really, whether it's by a specific business arrangement or not. But they could each very well just have their own self-interest in mind
Yeah,
for all
just
I know. But
brand
Sega seeing, oh, there's Shenmue 3. Well, why don't we just re-release and touch up 1 and 2 and put them out for some extra cash? Or but I don't know. I like to think of it a little more optimistically. Like Sega went, you know what? Suzuki-san really did a lot for us over the years. He's got Shenmue 3 on the way, and let's help drum up some interest for that by re-releasing 1 and 2. I don't know. That's how I like to think about it.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
I came up with that myself, Brandon.
It's another nautical pun. I like it.
Oh, dang.
One segment too late, Marty, as usual.
I guess that's not a pun. That's just a saying.
Yeah.
It's a phrase.
So THQ Nordic, who I think we've talked about this before, they're slowly just reforming THQ exactly how it was. Hopefully not.
Rebuild it.
Hopefully they'll stop short before they get to U-Draw, because spoiler alert, that doesn't end well.
Yeah.
But they have.
It's too soon.
It's not too soon.
Absolutely not too soon.
Not at all. They have Darksiders. They're working on Darksiders 3. They've got we've talked about Red Faction under their belt. They've got
Biomutant.
Biomutants, one of their
Delayed,
new IPs. Right? I was trying to think. They bought a bunch of those old Nickelodeon IPs, video game rights.
Yeah, we were confused as to what the hell was going on there.
It's very odd. Yeah. But anyway, like they have been definitely building themselves up, but they are going to be skipping E3, and they gave what I thought was a really hilarious reason. They said, "It is with great regret that we at THQ Nordic must report that we will be unable to miss a single moment of the World Cup. Therefore, we'll be forced to stay in our lovely Viennese beer gardens, blowing the froth off a couple," which sounds like you're shooting someone with a cannon or something.
I'm not sure what's...
But they're talking about beer.
Death by froth blowing?
Watching football and 1 or 2 cool press conferences on Twitch, looking at you, Devolver, instead of rocking it ourselves.
Also, you can translate this to E3 booths are very expensive, and we did not want to pay for one.
Correct. Yeah.
100% makes sense.
Yeah, the ESA charges a fortune for those things.
Yeah.
Just why
I've heard some numbers over the years.
Have you really?
Yeah.
It's why you start seeing people.
I know our numbers for how much our booth costs, and our booth's tiny compared to the rest of these.
Yeah. So that means no Biomutant news at E3, no
Darksiders.
Actually, I guess that's not entirely true. They could theoretically still show up as a new gameplay demo or trailer on
stage.
On stage with Microsoft or Sony or something, but they're probably not going to be at E3 for either Biomutant or Darksiders 3. And Darksiders 3 in particular, we revealed that as part of IGN First last May, and it just destroyed all expectations that I had for it. Like, there was huge interest in Darksiders, and so it's just for that basis alone, it seems it's a little odd to me that they're skipping E3 when like it's now been basically over a year since anybody's heard from that game. They sent us another video we put out exclusively in December.
In December, it was like that 3 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, she's
fiery
Fury's
area.
traversing, sort of doing a little world traversal, and there was a
cool
monster
whip
encounter at the end. But so we'll see, because
so are we the only gameplay for Darksiders 3? Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had said when it was announced that it was, I think they were targeting summer of now.
I don't actually remember.
That clearly is probably not going to happen. But I wonder when it's Darksiders 3 is actually...
Don't release it this year. Put it out early next year.
I imagine.
No, we're done with this year. This year's done. No more releasing games this year.
It's April.
No more releasing games.
If Darksiders 3 comes out this year, it's got to be.
It's coming out October 26th.
It's got to be before October. Like, it has.
Can't even October anymore. October has Spider-Man and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Before October?
Forza.
What's in September?
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
September has Spider-Man
before
and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay, got it. Maybe that's a spring 2019 then.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
And then when is Biomutant coming out? I mean, I know it just got delayed, right? But
yeah, but that only just got that was unveiled. What it was at Gamescom, wasn't it, or just before it?
Yeah,
yeah. So, got to figure that's just 2019 somewhere
at some point.
And I don't think they've given a release date for that one. But all right, so we will be sure to not be looking out for THQ Nordic stuff at E3. NBA Playgrounds 2. I'm very much an old school NBA Jam fan. Bobby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Who were your guys in old school NBA Jam?
Oh, man. Let me See, what year was that? I'm trying to figure out because
Like probably OG, because they kind of there was hang time and
That'd have been like what 93, 94. That was like yeah.
playing with the.
oh yeah, because it's the 25th anniversary this year, so
Yeah.
93.
Because I remember playing because it was I played as the Bulls and it
me too.
had a-
Jordan.
Yeah, I think it had just like a white guy with really good
Scottie
stats
Pippen
because they
was
couldn't
on there.
afford it. It was like Scottie
for
Pippen,
sure.
B.J. Armstrong, Dennis Rodman.
I think that's what I was running.
Yeah.
Was Rodman in the first
Oh, he might have been on the
version, or was he in
Pistons.
the second? He might have been in the second version.
Yeah.
I didn't play so many
Anyway,
different variations.
well, and
I know. I'm trying to think. It was hard.
my sons didn't have. It's the same deal as with Jordan. No Charles Barkley because he like opted out of the.
Oh, you said your sons as
I know,
your children, and I was like,
what?
what's going on here, Ryan? How did you keep this one close to the best for so
daughter.
long?
I
I've
heard.
known you for 3 years, and
My sons.
SUNS Phoenix Suns NBA basketball team never won an NBA championship.
was that like pre-Nash back then?
Oh, that was super pretty.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the
I don't know what
Sonics were like
iteration you were playing.
The Sonics were like Sean Kemp and Gary
Gary Payton, yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, KJ. The Suns were KJ Marley and I believe Tom Chambers were the three you could choose from. I can't remember if it was three or you put two on the floor at a time.
Two out of
but
three.
I think it was
Yeah.
three players, not four that you could choose from. But
The Clintons were in it.
yes, both of them,
Yeah.
George and Bill.
Yeah. Wait, George Clinton was in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
P-Funk.
I thought Hillary was in it. I thought it was Bill and Hillary.
You remember, right? Yeah. George Clinton was an unlockable character
What?
Better and better.
What?
in NBA Jam.
What?
Yes.
I'm not disputing it. I'm just
Pretty sure Hillary.
Look,
Clinton
I don't
was
know a
there.
lot
I don't
about
remember
basketball.
Hillary
I don't think
Clinton.
Hillary was.
Oh,
I totally thought Hillary Clinton was in the
Bill
game.
was.
What did they say it was too hard to animate women in NBA Jam TE like Ubisoft?
I don't know.
I thought she was in it.
Maybe. And
I might be wrong.
now we got to check.
There was a Socks the Cat game for Super Nintendo based on the Clinton's cat.
That's true.
She's probably in that.
I like to jam.
Yeah, that was him. That was Bill Clinton. That was our president. That was back when our presidents liked the jam. I'm done.
Yeah, I feel like
anyway,
Done with this one. Whoa, wait, what are we talking about?
Saber Interactive
Well,
is
I
developing
never
again.
heard. So who was your team,
so I
Bobby?
think I was with the Bulls.
Bulls.
Because Scottie Pippen was my guy growing up.
Yeah.
So I think I'm sure I was right.
that was peak Chicago Bulls era for this. That was the beginning of the first three-peat. So anyway, Jam's been gone for a while. EA resurrected it for 360 and PS3 as a digital download, but now I don't even know who owns NBA Jam anymore. But Saber Interactive, makers of Halo Anniversary and Halo 2 Anniversary, that's a real thing. They put out a game. It was either 1 or 2 years ago now. NBA Playgrounds. Did you try this one out at all?
That was
Bobby?
last year, yeah.
was
we
last
actually
year.
did like a little live stream. It was 4 of us competing.
That's right. I remember you and Derek.
Yeah, me and Derek
And
and,
it's
CJ.
not quite Jam good, but it was pretty fun, right?
I remember seeing that first trailer because I published it and like nudging Derek, going, "Yo, look at this is NBA Jam style game." Because I played NBA Street Volume 1
Yes.
and 2, NBA Home Court, and so I was really big in these like going out doing crossovers, getting points, and doing the dunks and jumping over the backboard and dunking it again. So I was really excited for this when it came out, and I remember doing the thing here. But then when I went home and played it a little bit, I wasn't having too much fun. Like I kind of stopped playing it real quick. It was just like, that wore off.
You need a part. It's a party game only.
I felt like it was better when people were all together playing rather than playing it online, especially with the lag and things like that. I wanted to play it with people together in one house or one area.
Well, you got another shot. We got NBA Playgrounds 2 on the way this summer. Saber once again in handling development. It's going to improve upon the first game in a variety of ways. This includes the new Playgrounds Championship online mode, which sounds like Bobby will be skipping. But and then a worldwide online league featuring several divisions to climb. A new season mode, take your team through a season, the playoffs, and the NBA Championship. You can also collect special players depending on the team that you choose to play with. So hopefully that means some
sounds
legends. Yeah, like if
Is this how the game looks?
Is that Durant?
this is the
Why is
trailer,
the-
yeah.
Durant looks great.
Why are their heads so big?
Because it's an ode to Jam, man.
Lonzo
It's an
Ball.
ode to NBA.
I didn't even know what an NBA Jam had heads that big.
Big head mode, man.
Yeah.
but there was a mode.
What game were you playing, Marty? Like
I was playing normal size head mode.
Yeah.
I live big head mode.
Everybody wanted big head mode was the way you played the game.
Man, I mean, never. Also, you know what I want? Since NBA Live just should stop being made, EA should just like bring EA Big back and just do another NBA Street. NBA Street 1 and 2 were so good, and they're so different than
Soundtrack was
than
great.
2K. Seriously, and like that's how you don't have to compete with 2K. Just do something that's different. Like let 2K sell its millions of copies every year, but then have like a downloadable Street.
Right. So like a lower budget, lower return, but a
Middleware.
a more
Yeah.
more consistent
Yeah,
moneymaker. Right?
NBA Street 1 and 2 are so good. Yeah.
2 and Volume 2 in particular.
Volume
That was
2
where it was at.
Yeah.
jammed. And that, because like you say, just playing that and I actually progressed through that story of, playing the Street Legend.
Yeah.
I started looking at him. I was like, yo, is this guy from Mosswood Park a real person? I started
yeah.
looking that up and
Yeah.
looking up the guy from New York. And I'm going, and it was hard too.
Yeah.
It was hard to beat that last guy. And again, playing that, sitting next to someone with their team of 2 and then my team and just going back and forth, that was the way to do it.
Yeah.
I want that to happen. Can you reach out to somebody?
I know someone.
There you go.
Mitch. Mitch works at EA.
That's true. So yeah, I'm hopeful that Playgrounds 2 maybe can take another step closer to being the NBA Jam revival that we still all want. I mean, the game that came out for the 360 was good, just didn't quite get there. So hopefully Playgrounds 2 can be that game. All right, that's it for news this week. I want to go Marty Sleeva's way.
Oh no.
What's going on? What can we buy this week, Marty?
Oh, there's a bunch of weird stuff.
Oh boy.
You can buy Casey Powell Lacrosse 18. I don't know mechanically what a
Finally.
lacrosse game's like.
Finally.
So I suggest that. There's a game called I Hope, which seems like it's a game that's an allegory for. It's a puzzle platformer that's an allegory for cancer, and money goes to a cancer organization.
Nice.
So that's cool.
That's great.
Babylon 2055 Pinball, which is probably a pinball game. Phantom Trigger, which is elements of a variety of genres like RPGs.
Wait,
roguelikes.
does that not sound like the title of a 16-bit Sega Genesis
Phantom
game?
Trigger, yeah.
At 100% straight up Genesis.
Sam Claiborne loves Phantom Trigger. Yeah. Atomic Heist, which is a roguelike shooter. And then finally, Space Hulk Ascension. That's the only game I've heard of.
Again? Wait, isn't that out already?
It's another Warhammer game.
Oh, it's new?
It was
that came out.
Space Hulk
it was
came out.
Space Hulk
This is-
Deathwing was the other one.
Gotcha.
There are so many Warhammer games out there right now. You can't keep track of them.
Yeah.
Apparently I can't.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. That's less important.
You know what Brandon Tyrell can't keep track of?
Oh, stop it! Don't segue. Just do it.
His Blockbuster video returns from back in the day.
It was such a throwaway comment last week that just has come back to
What
bite
movie?
me.
What
Well,
didn't you return?
Welcome to the show, man.
Panzer Dragoon Orta,
Yeah.
and please don't judge me. Enter the Matrix.
I had Enter the Matrix.
Did you?
Yeah, game was terrible.
Yeah, it really is.
Bad game.
It's so bad.
Had a lot of Jada Pinkett Smith. Probably
It
the
did.
most Jada Pinkett Smith in any game.
So Enter the Matrix was the sort of Matrix 1.5. It was supposed to fill in the gaps between the first and second movies. Because if you remember the beginning of the second movie, Neo just shows up and everyone's having this big meeting of the ones or whatever they were called.
They were definitely not called the ones.
Yeah.
He was the
It was-
one.
no, it was
a
multi-
meeting of the ones.
It was
would just be
multiple
very
ones.
boring.
It was the multiple.
That'd be like the 4 then.
There was 56, 57.
Binary.
See, it was
Codes and
it
wonders.
was
011.
Yeah.
Sorry.
it was the binaries.
Clutch for you.
Anyway, it wasn't a good game. I think someone, when they were designing that game, was like, you remember the lobby scene from the first Matrix where he's doing slow-mo flips and crap? Let's just make that a game.
Because she kept doing the spin away from the bullets or
Oh, yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
It was
I remember that.
it was gun keto before that was a thing. It was very, very dramatic. Not great, not terrible, but
Worth stealing.
I forgot to return it. Didn't steal it. Forgot to return it. Told that story last week, and it's been an interesting week ever since.
Yeah, so we had John write in and share a sort of similar story, talking about a video rental shop in his town. They had 6 Sega Mega Drive games. So
6.
This guy's probably my age. So he would rent, including he calls out Desert Strike.
God, that game is good.
And Road Rash, which is also A+. Yeah. So he says he was renting Road Rash for the week for about the 8th time, which we all did as a kid. And it became known around town that Len, the owner of the video shop, had filed for bankruptcy and the shop would be closing at the end of the week. Road Rash was due back after the shop was closing. I figured I might as well keep it, as there would be no one to return it to on the day it was due. But in the end, I couldn't go through with it and took it back on the last day the shop was open. Len was there, and he told me that nobody had bothered returning any movies that week, and
guy.
he didn't expect to get any before closing. He was amazed that a schoolboy would return a game when adults were blatantly stealing from him, and as a reward for my honesty, he gave me all 6 of those Sega Mega Drive games to say thank you.
I mean, first of all, Len sounds amazing. This guy sounds good too. Both good dudes.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, he pressured you into making that charitable donation.
He didn't pressure me. I said last week.
There's nowhere to donate it. What are you talking? Like,
I said-
Blockbuster's dead. You won.
They're still in Alaska, apparently.
Yeah, we learned on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver that there's still a Blockbuster in Alaska.
Which, okay, I don't know what to do with that information, but
Yeah, they sent him a bunch of Russell Crowe props from Russell Crowe movies, including a leather jockstrap from Cinderella
from
Man.
Gladiator.
No.
No, from Cinderella Man, the boxing movie.
Oh my god, that's even worse.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I said last week because Ryan and a couple of the others were giving me crap about it. I said if I'm the
As
only
we
one,
do.
if I'm the only one that's ever done this, then I will 100% make amends for it. I know I'm not the only one. But John's letter actually kind of struck a chord. So I did end up making a $100 donation to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
It's awesome.
In honor of Blockbuster Video.
Cleanse your soul.
Did you know in September that becomes in honor of Halloween Express?
So yeah, John, thank you for your letter. That's done. I don't have anything else to say about it.
But you weren't the only one.
Dude, I
know.
totally did this.
I know.
I did this on purpose. I did this before I went to college in my hometown. The rental store had Suikoden 2 for the PS1, which retailed for like $150 because they only printed a couple of them. I rented it, moved out of the city. 4 years later, moved out of the state. I'm just never going back to that video store.
Yeah.
Now I got Suikoden 2, and it was $4
now there's a
instead of
warrant for your
$150.
arrest.
That's fine. I'm not going to go back to Sun Prairie, Wisconsin.
Back in the day-
that's totally fine with me.
Back in the day when this was a cash-based business,
Yeah.
like that was fine. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
then your mom
As my credit score is
then
just
your
like-
mom put down her credit card and she's like, Brandon, what is this $65 charge?
Yeah.
I don't know, Mom. I don't know.
Bobby, I'm sorry I brought you on a show with
I
a bunch
did
of
that
criminals.
same thing though. I mean,
Did you really?
but I worked.
Just ignore
at
it.
CVS, I worked in the video department, so I used to like.
CVS had a video
Yeah,
department?
we had video rentals. We even had like a little ice cream parlor. We had a photo department.
Best CVS ever.
For folks that aren't
but
from
here's the crazy
the
part
West,
about
CVS is a drugstore / pharmacy.
It used to be Long's Drugs.
Long's Drugs, yeah.
And I worked in the photo department, and it was the weirdest thing ever. They used to always go, hey, since you're close to the ice cream parlor, we want you to be the person that goes serves the ice cream. So I don't know if you guys ever like worked in a photo department where you actually had to gear up and use the chemicals and all that.
Oh, the develop the
Yeah,
photos,
yeah.
right?
You were developing
So I used to
film?
always tell them, I say, that don't sound right, because I'm in the back with all this garb on and these goggles and these gloves and this stuff is splashing around.
And then you want me to scoop
want
ice
me to
cream?
go serve ice cream.
I love the idea that you
I was like,
you come out of the back looking like a serial killer from an
Yeah,
indie horror
Well,
film.
what was
You're
that,
like,
what was that
bubblegum or
one
rock and
hour
roll.
photo?
I'm like, are you serious? But like I was saying though, so I used to rent the movies out to myself, and when I think they did, it was something for Star Wars, and they had like all the movies come back out again on DVD.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
remastered version where they had
rented
Jabba
all
the Hutt.
of them out and never took them back.
Good.
Because I didn't want to have to go pay for them in the stores. Like I would just rent these and never bring them back. So I've done that
it's perfectly
same
fine.
thing.
Wow. So the moral of the story is I shouldn't feel guilty about doing
No.
a terrible thing.
I think the people who should feel guilty are your bosses who had you filled with chemicals and then
Yeah.
serving kids ice cream. That's
That
messed
was-
up.
that's
dark.
That's on them.
That was nuts.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Bunch of Polaroids start developing in the kids' stomachs. I think that's how that works.
I'm missing a roll of film. Have you seen it?
Yes, Buster ate it.
I don't know. It was 2 scoops. It could have hidden in there.
Oh man.
Anyway, yeah, donation is done. I feel good about it. I feel good. I feel like I did a good thing. And now I don't have to feel guilty about having entered the Matrix in a box somewhere in my basement anymore.
Why do you still have it?
I don't know.
Throw it away.
I honestly don't know. I'll bring it in. I'll
garbage.
probably post something on Twitter so the Screenser didn't happen, Pixar didn't happen, people don't.
Hide it somewhere, like bury it like under a tree, like the money in Shawshank Redemption.
On a beach in Mexico
Yeah.
somewhere, yeah.
All right. April games with gold. We've been over these, but if you haven't downloaded them yet, grab The Witness. 10 out of 10, IGN.com. Wonderful puzzle game. One of the best games. Assassin's Creed Syndicate starts, was it this week? No, now. It's on now.
Yeah, came out.
Yeah, that's running through the middle of May. You missed Disney Pixar's Cars 2, but you can now get Dead Space 2.
Dude, download all 3 of these games.
Yeah.
All 3 of these games are great.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
It's a really good month, man.
Yeah, it's an awesome month.
Can't complain. Unlock block trivia time. Let's test the knowledge here.
Do you know this?
Maybe.
Yeah.
One of these isn't even an Xbox game.
Yeah.
Doesn't yeah.
That's fine.
That may give you a clue. I don't know. Maybe not.
Who knows?
Maybe it's all a ruse. I don't know.
It doesn't say which of these Xbox games.
True. Zach from Nashville, Tennessee, writing in the Unlock Block Trivia Challenge here. Which of these 7th generation games had the highest number of endings with unique cutscenes? Dead Rising, that'd be Dead Rising 1, Mass Effect 2, Beyond Two Souls, the PlayStation 3 exclusive, and Deus Ex Human Revolution. All games known for multiple endings.
Crap. Now I'm second guessing.
Bobby, any thought on this?
I
don't know which of these you may have
Daddy
played.
Had a donkey died, daddy cried. Inky Binky Donkey. I'm gonna go B. Mass Effect.
What curse was that? I love that.
Oh my God, we're gonna die in 7 days. I haven't heard that.
That's the new Blue Mouse horror movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's a variation on the old one, but I haven't heard that in forever. All
Wait, you said B? Is that what you
Inky-
said?
B.
He goes Mass Effect 2, yes.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Because I'm gonna go. You said Mass Effect 2.
I did.
God, I know Dead Rising had a ton of endings. No, I'm gonna go Dead Rising. A.
Okay.
I thought it was Beyond Two Souls.
So I think it was Beyond Two Souls had 24 endings, but I really don't feel like he'd write it in an Xbox show and have a PlayStation game be the answer.
I agree, unless this
is like pure trickery.
This is a Trojan question.
Yeah.
It's just like
So I think it's Beyond Two Souls, but I'm gonna go with Mass Effect 2 because isn't the whole thing like anyone in your party could die? So you got like 10 characters, and so there's 10 million permutations.
I never finished it.
I never finished it. Clearly, that's why I'm not on the show anymore. I said if I didn't finish the trilogy, I was going to leave the show.
We both just
it was
started-
just delayed. It was just a 9-month delay.
Both just start fading away.
I'm with Bobby.
All right.
Mass Effect 2.
Well, points will be awarded to Brandon.
Yes.
Yeah, Dead Rising 1, man, there were many permutations
Really?
Yeah.
of that ending. I mean, there was because of course it had the timer.
Yeah.
The timer, like if you could end that game real fast.
Oh yeah.
Or you could draw it way out. It was
like if you rescued this woman
Right.
or didn't.
the whole Queen Bee thing. There was there was a million different ones there. So
Climbing the ladder.
yeah, good job.
One
Brandon.
rung at a time.
3 points for Miranda. Hopefully we can get her back on here next week. We've missed her the last couple of weeks. Brandon at 5, Alana at 6. So we've got a tightening race.
I believe that.
I do need more trivia questions. Not a lot of people emailing me good trivia stuff. So please send in your Xbox trivia questions. I need 4 multiple choice answers in your email. Please note the correct one. And send it to unlocked@ign.com.
Can I start making trivia questions?
Yeah.
I got a couple bangers.
Yes, you're not on here anymore much. So
You know why you're not getting them is because you asked people to stop sending any questions that were, in what 1998 movie did...
I'd rather not have my time. I'd rather not get any at all than have to parse through a million more of those again.
That's fair.
All right, let's get out of here. It is getting on in the day. Bobby, where can we? I don't know if you do any streaming, any tweeting.
I'm on
We keep an eye on
Podcast
you.
Unlocked every once in a while. Play a few games here and stream a few things if it's Call of Duty related or Madden or WWE. But I just kind of sit at my desk and work.
He keeps the machine running.
That's
all
very
day,
true.
all day long.
Really? Because in the comments section, people think I take out the garbage and do all the other things here.
That's ignorant.
Telling them, no, I don't. I don't take out the garbage and deliver mail. There we go.
Bobby, every video that we do, Bobby is the one that
Gets it on the website.
publishes it, which means he's in charge of all the headline and information and making sure it goes to the right place and formatted and encoded correctly. So you have Bobby to thank for literally any video you watch on IGN.
Gatekeepers.
Also, the
Very
two
true.
the 2 times I've had to self-publish something with an embargo, I've been terrified because I'm like, what if I hit the wrong thing and then everyone's mad at me?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's stressful. That's like being like air traffic control.
That's actually a pretty good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Tin Cup. I don't want to pushing Tin.
Pushing tin.
Tin Cup was about bowling.
Oh.
Golf.
Cup's about golf. Bowling? That's Kingpin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you lost me. Instigated, bro.
We all grew up watching movies in the 90s, apparently.
Oh my goodness. Marty, what's going on?
You can follow me at Nick Biggity. This is PlayStation stuff, but I'm working on a ton of God of War stuff for the next couple weeks, including
Fantastic video game.
Yep. including Ending Explained. We're doing a spoiler cast with Corey, Easter eggs, all sorts of cool stuff.
Love it.
You can find me on Twitter at just my name, Brandon Tyrell. We are doing quite a bit of Xbox stuff. We're piloting some new stuff, trying to just get better, more consistent Xbox coverage on IGN for you all. I think Ryan and I are going to start doing some Let's Plays with the extended Unlocked family. So Marty, Alana, Miranda, everybody, Bobby.
There we go.
So we're going to start.
Medina in there too.
Yeah, Mark Medina. We're going to start doing some Let's Plays of the backwards compatible Xbox games.
Blinks.
If you have any favorites.
You're on that one for sure.
Blinks.
It's just Marty on Blinks. If you have any favorites that you want to see, tweet at us, Ryan or I, or somebody, and we will see that and take it into consideration. Other than that,
I want to try and convince my bosses to let me get paid to play all the way through Breakdown again.
Yeah,
because it's been a long time.
As long as you get your work done,
I feel like
that's the rule.
I feel like that one was made backwards compatible just for me. So it's like I owe it to that game to play it again.
There's just one Unlocked fan on the backwards compat team, and he's just like, you know what, Ryan? This one's for you.
I appreciate it. Believe me, I don't take any of it for granted.
I cannot wait to see the next batch, but we still have to get through these. So look for that on IGN. I'm sure it's coming in the next couple weeks.
Excellent. And one other thing, top 25.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me.
Mention that at the top.
We just updated our top 25 Xbox One games. These are, just we think the best games you should own if you have an Xbox One. You're looking for something to play. So check that out. Dropped out 2 games, re-added 2 games. So go check that out if you're interested which ones they are. And we will update it again in the fall, twice a year, spring and fall.
Which 2 did we drop? You'll have to click to find out.
I mean, we got to keep the lights on. There are a lot of lights in the studio, guys.
I don't even remember which 2 we dropped, so...
Well, I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to visit IGN.com to find out.
I know which 2 we added. I don't remember which 2 we dropped. All right, and I'm on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. I will also remind you once again, the unfiltered interview with Joseph Ferris. Thank you, everybody, for the super kind words I've been getting about that. If I can just convince people to try unfiltered... This one in particular, the hour will go by very quickly because Joseph is to use Lethal Weapon parlance, he is a loose cannon, but in the very best of ways.
He's a character.
Yeah.
He's fun. We had a lot of great conversation. So IGN Unfiltered, find it on IGN, YouTube, or podcast services as well. And that'll wrap it up. I want to thank Bobby, Brandon, Marty. Good to see all of you. And we shall return, of course, for some sort of Halo something next week with episode 343.
Probably just going to be just 4 Halo images in the background, to be honest.
Come up with something. All right, we'll see you guys next week.